In today's tutorial, we're going to be showing you how you can link a Google spreadsheet into your portal so that way you can utilize live data sheets in order to update your content. We do have a knowledge-based article that actually shows you how to do all this XML connection step by step, but for today's tutorial, we're just going to jump straight into it. So what I'm going to do first is actually grab this link right here. And if you don't have the ability to type this down, don't worry, we'll actually save this URL in our YouTube description. But for now, I'll copy that link right there and paste it inside of a notepad. And we're going to actually go through and create a new spreadsheet and replace this portion that says your ID here. What we'll do next is actually go into Google Spreadsheets and create a new spreadsheet. For this example, I'm going to call this the menu board example. And what we're going to need to do next is click on File and Publish to Web at the very bottom. This will actually allow us to grab the data directly from our portal, and we're going to make sure we publish the entire document and hit OK after we hit Publish. Now that's done, we're going to go ahead and close this menu. What we're going to do is actually grab the unique ID identified with our Google spreadsheet, and we're going to make sure we highlight the section after the /D and right before the /edit. And we're going to go ahead and copy that, and we're going to go back into our notepad where we had the URL saved earlier, and the highlighted section that says your ID here will now be replaced with that unique ID tag we just copied. Once that's been replaced, we can now highlight this entirely new URL and copy it, and we're going to go inside of our portal itself and go into our Now once we get to our settings page, we can just simply scroll down until we see the data sources portion. And we can now click on the add new button right here, and we'll just simply go through and use the existing URL. And once we click on the existing URL, we just give this new link a name. And we're just going to use a menu board test and basically paste the URL we copied earlier. And for type, we just need to make sure we select Google Spreadsheet. And once that's all done, we can go ahead and save the data source inside of our portal by clicking the blinking save icon. This will now save the data source inside of our portal, and we can now use it inside of our content. What we're going to do next is actually go into our spreadsheet and start adding our data inside of it. Since I'm creating a food menu board, I'm going to go ahead and include my first column as the food group, the price, and also a picture link for what that menu item is going to look like. I can now go through and add in my different food items in here. So for this first one, I'll just call it chicken wings, and I'll just give it a random number for a price. And I'll go ahead and add in my other food items as well. Now that's finished, I can go ahead and find some pictures that are linked to my food items here and just simply save the URL for where those pictures are located. So as you can see, I'm just making sure I select a wide variety of different images for each food item, and I'm just going to simply copy and paste those URLs inside the appropriate columns. And once I'm done, everything will automatically be saved inside Google Sheets, and I can go back into my content editor to use as content now. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and create a new piece of content, and I'm going to call this piece of content a menu board test. And what I'm going to do is just set my resolution to a standard 1080p, and I'll go ahead and create an open. Now what we're looking at here is going to be our canvas, and we're going to be utilizing our text element and our image element. If you don't know how to use these elements, please refer to our earlier tutorials. But for now, I'm going to simply drag and drop my text element onto my canvas here, and I'm going to go to my properties pane on the left hand side and select the others column. Underneath the others column will be a section that allows me to bind to data, and I can now go through and select my XML spreadsheet. In this case, it'd be my menu board test. I'm going to choose which row I want to reference my data from. So I'm going to go ahead and select the first row, and I'm going to go ahead and select which column I'm referring to as well. So in this example, I'll select the menu item, which will be chicken wings, and I'll save it. And as you can see, the chicken wings menu has now been brought over from my spreadsheet. I'm going to go ahead and add in a second text element, and again, I'll go to my others properties and click on bind to data. I'm going to go ahead and select my Google Spreadsheet source, and then I will go ahead and select the first row again. But this time I'm going to select the price option. And as you can see, the price has now been pulled over from my spreadsheet, and I can save it, and that price is now going to appear on my canvas as well. Now lastly, I had a URL link for my images, so I'm actually going to want to use the image element here. And underneath the image element, I will also click on the other properties and also bind this to data. From here, I'm going to go ahead and select the same spreadsheet again, as well as the first row, and this time I'll select the picture link. And you can see that the URL is actually going to populate, but it'll actually pull that URL's image right here into my canvas. And just like that, our spreadsheet's information has been populated into our canvas, and we can actually check our spreadsheet again just to make sure everything is correct. So there's our chicken wings, the price, and the URL. If we look back at the canvas, everything will be matching. What I can go ahead and do now is select each one of these elements and copy them and paste them into my canvas. And I can actually go through and create an additional duplicate, but this time I'm going to go back to the bind to data option, and I'm actually going to go through and bind the second row instead, and this will actually pull in my second row's information. So we'll see the cheeseburger being updated, same thing with the price, and then lastly I'm going to go ahead and update the image as well. So as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and select that second row, and the image will automatically be updated with the appropriate URL, and we now have our cheeseburger image. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this one more time, and once I pasted it, I'm going to go ahead and modify the remaining properties with our third row, again going into my bind to data option and selecting row number 3. And we can see that the salad now is going to be updated with the appropriate information. As you can see here, I'm actually updating the price and my information will be updated. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to my picture, and from here the URL will be updated as well, and we'll see the updated salad picture. Now that everything is finished, all we have to do is just update our spreadsheet, and it will automatically update the content that we're working on as well. So for example, I can go ahead and replace chicken wings with crispy wings, and what I can do next is just change the price here, and after I update the price itself, Google Spreadsheets will automatically save. And if I go back to my portal, I can just simply refresh my data source and it will automatically update the chicken wings information as well as the price for me. As you can see, the applications for this is quite powerful. You no longer need to jump into your content to always edit it. You just need to make the edits through a spreadsheet and the live data will be updated automatically. Using everything we covered today, I'm going to go ahead and create a simple menu board that includes the menu item, the price, and also the picture that it's linked to. Linking your Google spreadsheet is extremely useful if you have information that needs to constantly be updated through live data and you don't really want to jump into the content editor. All you have to do is just simply update your spreadsheet. Now that we're done, we'll save it and we'll do a quick preview. And as you can see, the menu has now been automatically updated with our datasheet, and we never had to alter it again. As always, if you have any questions with today's tutorial, please let us know.